I've been researching this entire subject for the past 3 to 4 months in my bid to become your next mayor of London. And I'm really gone into the numbers and gone into detail because the truth is I've worked in finance. I've run my own business. I've, taken classes at the Sloan School of Management. I've been around and I know how to run a business. And when I look at the way the government runs itself, quite frankly, it's appalling. No basic freshman in a management class would ever run this city or this country in a fiscally irresponsible manner that we see, and yet it happens all the time. The truth is, why would we expect our elected politicians to run a city in a fiscally responsible way? They have no management experience, no economic experience, no finance experience, no leadership experience, no entrepreneurial experience. So why would we expect our current mayor of London to know how to run a city with a 17 billion pound budget and over 27,000 employees? The truth is we shouldn't, and yet we kind of are shocked by how they mismanage this city on a regular basis. And I want to talk about this today. London is now billions of pounds in debt, and you, the taxpayer, are going to be forced to pay. And I want to talk about that today and talk about how the current mayor is literally driving this city into the ground. But I have a solution. I've got the roadmap on the way out. And I want to talk about this at the end of Real Deal. So before we get started, I want to get your thoughts. Do you think it's fair that the taxpayer funds governments that go over budget? You, the taxpayer, do you think it's fair that you have taxes on your petrol, tax increases on your tube fares, tax increases in your council tax, your business rates? Is it fair to tax you when our government officials mismanage budgets? That's what I want to ask you right now. Second of all, do you think it's fair to increase congestion charges and raise children's fares in order to pay for mismanagement of the TfL, the Transport for London? Third, I want you to tell me, is it worth the economic damage we're experiencing right now because of lockdown for all of this that's happening? Is it worth the economic price that we're currently paying for the current lockdown situation? And finally, do we need better leadership and do we need a new solution? So I'm so glad you're here. Again, please leave me your answers. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're live everywhere. And I'm going to be literally reading off your specific questions as we go. So type them in. They're going to come to me. There's 3 parts to this, and each part I'm going to be asking for your feedback. And again, give me your thoughts. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm right. Tell me if you think you have a better idea. As your next mayor of London, I am not married to the Labour Party or the Conservative Party or any other party. I want the best ideas. In fact, when I'm going to be the next mayor, I'm open to talking to people from the Labour and Conservative parties to work with them to do what's best for the city. That's what I want to do. I want to do what's best for the 9 million inhabitants of this city. I want to listen to you and serve you in the best way possible, as opposed to doing what our current politicians do, which is they look out for their vested interests, they look out for their own party, and they look out for their own careers. And they just want to be elected and elected and elected. And the truth is they're never responsible for over budgeting because they just tax you, and then the next year they get another chance. Whereas if they were actual entrepreneurs, if they failed to manage the budgets of their company, they would be dead. And that's the real business world that I live in. And that's why I take fiscal responsibility very, very seriously. And I'm going to talk about it today. So looking forward to talking about these topics with you. I'm super excited you're here. So thanks so much for tuning in. First, I want to talk about the obvious, which is the fact that in 168 days, I will become your next mayor of London. And I feel like we're all going to move into City Hall together, all 9 million of us Londoners. And truth is, tens of millions of people from around the world are going to join us on this journey, because I'm confident that when we can show the world how we can turn London around, other cities are going to follow, whether that's Paris or Madrid or Rome, or it could be New York City, Los Angeles, Singapore, Tokyo. Once they see how we crack this code, and again, it's not complicated, but it takes leadership that doesn't have vested interests and that isn't married to a political party, I think we're going to be an inspiration for the world. And so you can see I'm sporting my new Brian for Mayor badge. We've got t-shirts, we got pens, we got coffee cups. And if you head over to brianformayor.london, you can get all your swag, you can support us. We've got brand new policy pages up as well, so you can look at my detailed policies for all of the aspects of what I'm going to do as your next mayor of London. Again, I've gone into the data, I've gone into the details, and you can see exactly how I'm going to get London back to work, put our science first, put our health first, put our education first, and much, much more. Also, you'll be able to volunteer there soon, so sign up for the email list. Donate what you can to the campaign, because we're going up against major parties with tens of millions of pounds in financing, and they're going to throw it all at us in the next few months. Trust me, it's coming. And then finally, I want to say thank you to you, because we are currently in second place and moving into first place as your next mayor of London. The betting agents and the odds makers have now put us there. They've put us well ahead of the Conservative candidate. Again, we have made history already. So thank you all for the support out there. I literally see people honking their horns when they go by me on the streets. I got lorry drivers stopping me. I got everyone under the sun shouting out support. I speak to my taxi drivers every single night. They're all voting for me, and I really appreciate that, and the odds show it. But there's still some easy money to be made out there. So for those of you that want to back me in the odds makers, there's still some crazy people out there giving 12-1 odds. Obviously, those are easy bets. And we soon plan to move into #1 place in the odds makers, and I'm super excited about that.